Hi, I'm Ryan Carter, the Metro editor for the San Bernardino Sun. I am here with reporters Josh Delaney, who's our City of San Bernardino reporter, and Jesse Gill, who's our breaking news reporter and public safety reporter as well. And they have been working on the last couple days a story about the search for a new police chief in the city of San Bernardino, and it seems that that search has been narrowed down to two people. And I wanted to talk to Jesse and Josh a little bit about this search and why, and basically why it matters that we're even writing these stories. So let me start with you, Jesse, here. Talk to me a little bit about the story. Why should it matter, really, to our readers out here in San Bernardino?
Well, definitely in San Bernardino, it's a city that has some significant public safety challenges. You got a lot of gang violence, and a couple months ago there was one night where there was 5 homicides over like 2 nights. There's a lot of violent crime in the city, so people should care about who's going to be leading the police force and who's going to be trying to quell these problems in the city. And it looks like both of the men that are the last 2 finalists have some experience dealing with that kind of problem. The first of the candidates is a guy named Cam Sanchez out of Santa Barbara. He's the chief up there. They've recently dealt with some gang violence problems and violent crime in that area, and he's kind of been doing a lot to deal with those problems there. The other candidate is a gentleman named Rob Handy, who's a commander out of the Phoenix Police Department, and he is a commander. He commands the Maryvale Patrol Precinct, which is in Phoenix there, and their acting chief told me today that that is one of their busiest precincts in terms of violent crime and gang activity, and that this candidate, Rob Handy, has done a lot in terms of suppression and dealing with those problems there. So back to your question, why we should care is why it matters, because we want to know that our police chief in our city is capable of dealing with the problems that are presented to this community.
Now, Jesse and Josh, the list of candidates, I understand, was at something like 30 initially. They whittled that down. Could you guys take us a little bit through the process here about how they did that?
Yeah, after outgoing Chief Keith Kilmer announced his retirement in March, he stayed on an interim basis, but Mayor Pat Morris has gone with a search firm at the cost of about $25,000 to bring in a pool of candidates. Earlier this year, in a story we ran, Morris said the pool had been brought down from 36 candidates to about 6. And this is a nationwide search, if you will. Could be called a cattle call. Yeah, so it was at 36 apparently at one point, and has now been, from what we know, been brought down to at least these 2 finalists.
And how is this playing out on the council? I mean, what are you hearing from people that you deal with all the time in the city about the search and about the candidates?
Well, the council apparently earlier this year met with the firm, the headhunting firm, to just share some of their insight about what they wanted to see in a police chief, their characteristics and their qualities and qualifications. Other than that, there hasn't been too much discussion from what I can gauge between the council and the mayor's office.
Is that by design?
Yeah. What is going to happen is in a few weeks, the mayor's office, the candidates will meet with the council, and the council members will have an opportunity to question these candidates. The city charter provides for the mayor's office to do the appointing of the police chief, subject to the council's approval.
So is it the council's approval or is it the council's recommendation? I've heard.
It's the council's approval.
Approval. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So the mayor is pretty much in charge of this process. City Attorney Jim Penman said that he does have a lot of flexibility as far as shaping the process, but it's pretty much up to the mayor at this point. He could send 100 people to the council to have them look at, or he could send one, and they then have the chance to meet with those candidates and give approval.
Got it. All right, Jesse, Josh, thank you guys very much and for your reporting. Okay, thanks for tuning in.